Hello all and welcome back to another StrawArt. Today I am trying something new out with audio, obviously, and I'm going to be actually commentating on what I'm doing, which is gonna be fun. So obviously let me know if you want me to go back to just plain music or not. So yeah, that. Anyway, so today I drew Lionblaze with accordance to April's theme, and I have been restarting a lot on this, but this is actually the final drawing I make, or the final posing. And obviously, I like this nose style, the longer nose. I really like that. And I decided to add a mane, and I added like a tufted tail. I have not drawn that yet, but I do add a tufted tail because I want to give Lionblaze a kind of lion-y feel, because it still does not make sense to me that he was named for purely color. But I did want to make him have sort of the look of a lion, so that's what I'm doing here. And I am using 4 different reference photos. 3 are for like coloring and posing, and then obviously the lion is for like the mane and just kind of the look, although I don't really follow any look other than like the look of a mane. But here I'm starting line art, and yeah. So I am doing paws, and this pose, it's based on kind of like a hunting pose, but I don't know. Lionblaze has always been, I don't really like him. I think he is annoying and he's kind of served his purpose. So, I mean, if he died, I couldn't care less. Anyway, so I actually did take the color from the picture. I forgot what it's called, but I did that. And now I am outlining everything to color it. And basically, if you don't know, Procreate, I use a separate coloring layer, but so I have to outline the line art with the color I want, and then I'll color drop it or use color fill to fill it all in, which is what I'm doing now. I'm coloring it all in, and then I'm coloring ears, and then I'm gonna add details like eyes, the ear fluffs I added. Those are always like one of my favorite parts of drawing a cat. I love making the ear fluffs unique. Now I'm doing the mane. I did make it a darker color because lions generally do have like darker, blacker manes, and I didn't want to have a black mane, but I think a darker ginger would look nice. And then I decided last minute to add the nick in Lionblaze's ear because like apparently he still has that from one of the battles from an apprentice, so I decided to add that. Then I stared at a lion's eye color, and then I decided that I need to use Lionblaze's actual eye color, which is yellow. I had to look that up. So now I'm adding all these stripes. And this is where I took a lot of creative liberty and making kind of my own look for him. I do know he's technically a golden tabby, but I did take a lot of creative liberty in making him look a lot nicer and like obviously unique. So I stripe all the legs, and like I also use separate layers for marking sometimes if I'm using larger markings that I want to be able to use color fill in. Procreate can be really weird with using its color fill, so I mean, I'm not complaining. And then I add more face stripes, which are kind of ugly because my face is long and the eyes are far away from the top of the forehead. Okay, and I was going to trace that background at first, and then I decided just to use that foresty background as a reference, but I got rid of all my other references because now I am sketching for the background, and that is my background. That reference is the reference I use for my background. Obviously, I do take my own creative liberty, make things look my own way, and make it look nice. And so there was like these big leaves on the right side of the picture and some tall grass behind that, so that's what I am sketching currently. And there was like this a dandelion, not like the yellow kind, like the little fluffy white dandelions. So I did draw that, and I do have to end up moving it later because it gets in the way. Or actually no, Lionblaze, when I put his layer back, because right now it's not visible, so I can focus on the background, you just can't see it. So I do have to redraw it and move it, which I realize that now. And then I draw him standing on boulders, because boulders, that's fun. And then I drew a bunch of grass around the rocks and just grass everywhere. I don't know what that plant is that's in the background. I actually don't, but I use that. I drew it. That, like, I honestly think it's just like a weird kind of bush. But I draw like more little plants and leaves all over the place just to make it look nice. I draw like leaves poking out from behind the tree. I just realized that, oh my god, those probably look like they're coming from the tree, but during line art I do make their outlines different colors, so that might be, yeah, hopefully. Grass, I hate drawing grass because I can never make it look good. And like I want to use same colors, I want to use line art, so I always just do like obviously what I'm doing now and what I did in my J-feather drawing. But yeah, and then I do copy and paste a lot. It makes things simple. But this time, instead of using like the same little drawing of grass like I did in my J-feather drawing, I used a few different ones, like the ones for the long grass, which I do not copy, and like the one, a little bit of grass I draw in front of the boulder, I also copy that a little bit. And here I'm drawing the dandelion. The way dandelions are, it does not look very good, but it's fine. So I was trying to do like this kind of shading thing where it's like one part's lighter. It's not like actual shading. I don't know what I was thinking. It's just to make it look nice. That's my philosophy. But I fixed that, and which is what I use for like blurring all my lighting and stuff to make it look like actual lighting. I use the Gaussian blur because there's 3 different kinds of blurs, and there's motion blur, perspective blur, neither of which I've actually used in a piece or in an animation or anything. And then there's the Gaussian blur, which I use all the time. Yeah, and then there's all this coloring of all the grass. I don't like that. Like the light grass coloring, it's too bright. I don't think any grass can be that light ever, but it's fine. Fun fact, I was watching the Matilda movie on Netflix while I was drawing a lot of the background. I have to listen to something in the background when I'm drawing. It cannot be just like music. It always has to be like YouTube or something. Or in this case, Netflix. So I took some of that long grass and I did copy it, but I'm not sure if you can tell because it's not really long grass. And now I outline this plant. I think it's just like a bush with not many leaves on it. I don't know. And then, or maybe it's a mini tree. I actually have no idea. I don't know. But I draw it and I put all these little leaves on it, making it look nice. And then, so I do all those leaves, and drawing bushes is just, I hate them because they never look right to me. And it's such a hassle to get all the overlapping leaves and like just capture the way like a tree or a bush looks. So obviously in the past, especially you can see that with my holly leaf drawing, I just draw like the little squiggly lines for bushes and for trees, but I'm trying to get better at that, and I'm trying to put a lot more work into my pieces, which obviously you can see because my past 2 videos are so long. I'm meaning this video and my J-feather video. Yeah. So I draw all of this and the bush, and then I color all the leaves, which is also a very tedious process. And then obviously I'm just making the bush look nicer, a little bit more realistic. And then more leaf coloring, all that. And my trees, I've adapted like a new thing for trees that I tried out, and like a bunch of overlapping colors, which I'm doing now, but I end up using a different brush, which a lot of trial and error, different brush, smaller size, all that. And I like it, and I am liking it because I think it kind of conveys, I don't know, like the feeling of bark a little more. I don't know how I feel about the blur, but that's what I did. I blurred it, and then I kind of I straightened it out, and I erased like the blurry parts that are fading into the background. That made no sense. And then because I don't want to have to go through that again, I literally just copy and pasted the tree, made a few tweaks like on that one, because I accidentally put like a piece of grass on the layer. So oops. And then I copy and pasted that, and I think I reversed it or flipped it and then I added grass, and it's just a background tree, so you can't really tell for that one. And then I put another tree, and then I put grass, and then I put another long strand of grass, and all that, and yeah. And then I finally color the ground. I don't know why it took me so long to actually color the ground, but I do now. And now I'm on to lighting, which now that I actually kind of understand how to make it look nice, I'm okay with. But I'm also really, really bad at it. Because it's just like, it's hard to understand, where is the sun falling? Where are their shadows? Ugh. But obviously I am improving like every day, and I'm really proud of myself. But I still get really lazy on some of my pieces, and I don't fix many things, which I'm gonna try and fix that in the future. So there's just little bits of lighting, like on Lionblaze, like I'm hoping it looks like the sun is hitting him or something, because he's in like a little clearing. Then lighting on all these leaves, I had to repeat it again, because when I blurred it, all the lighting was gone. Oh my god. And so I did actually stop recording here, but because I always have to break and stuff, but I mean, I don't think you can tell. But anyway, so now I'm doing shading, which I'm also very bad at, but I think I'm a little better than at shading than lighting, but still not the best. So I'm actually using a purplish color, but it blends in a lot, because I'm also having like, I cannot pronounce it, but the transparency way down. Oh my god, the opacity. I always say it like that, and I get the feeling that it's wrong. So yeah, but anyway, a lot of shading, just making it look better, and contrast and all that fun stuff. And then there's just a ton of shading, and it's looking good. And then I'm like just finishing up right now. And this is the final drawing. So I'm gonna give all my final thoughts while you take in the drawing, which I kind of have to do fast, but it's totally fine. But I like this drawing. It's not nearly as good as my J Feather drawing, because I did not take as much time, but I didn't take as much time because I don't like Lionblaze. Lionblaze. So, but I do like this, and I think it looks good, and I'm hoping to improve like way more on my Devwing drawing, which I'm excited for, and mostly because I love Devwing, and I'm excited to see if I improve at all in the span of this drawing to the next. So I'm hoping to see that, and I'm hoping to get better, which, wow. An artist. I'm just improving every day, and I'm really proud of that. So but yes, I do like this drawing, and I think it's pretty good, and I think I'm really glad I took some creative liberties. But the only thing I'm disappointed is I can't draw realistic, no matter what. It just does not come out looking realistic. I can't get rid of line art. It's always line art. That's a later fix for the future, and I definitely will practice that before I try making it look realistic in any of my actual straw arts. But yeah. So I like this drawing, and it's time I go. So yeah. So stay safe, and I'll see you guys next week, and roll credits, I guess.